Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Michael's Millennial Money. Today, this is the part from the Warren Buffett, how to be more frugal, how to save more money in order to invest as much money as possible. I said it many times on this channel that it's super important for me to invest all the money this year because Bitcoin halving is happening, then crypto ETF was approved like at the beginning of the January, and actually US elections are coming, which we know US is a big player for finance in the whole world. I want to make sure I will not miss any train or any bus. It's super important for me to be frugal this year because I want to invest literally like all the money, so it's important to save as much as possible. Before we start, there is actually quite a bit of points from the previous videos that I have done from the Warren Buffett. I've been actually learning from Warren Buffett and Dave Ramsey quite a bit, like articles, videos. Berkshire Hathaway, they have like this annual thingy with the company, and they are saying a lot of important things, and the books, of course. So actually there is more content that is coming from me as well. With that being said, let's get ready for the video. You can support me with a like or subscribe, and make sure you stay up to end of the video. I'm gonna be sharing one of the best quotes from the Warren Buffett that I did learn recently. Tip number 1 from the Warren Buffett, how to be more frugal and how to save more money this year so we can invest as much as possible, is actually never rely on single income source. He is well known that he is one of the best investors in the world. He was outbeating S&P 500 hedge fund investors, right? And he was actually diversifying his portfolio. So his stocks and all his portfolios are not just like one stock, but he is diversifying like healthcare portfolio for the stocks. Today, he is big on AI, so the companies, they are working with AI or using AI, or they want to use AI in their everyday life, he's actually focusing on them, and he's investing quite a bit of money into like different stocks. He's just meaning that don't rely on one income, so whether it's your work, whether it's your investments, whether it's your parents, grandparents, whatever, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. That's why I'm not going to put all the money into one asset like real estate, but I will divide it into real estate, bit of stocks, bit of crypto, and my business and my education. Even if it's just course for me to learn how to be better editor for the YouTube, it's for me like education. So it's not like education like going for university, not anymore, right? So it's super important for me to diversify, because if you diversify, you should be more protected when it comes to risk. Risk comes with every investment, as we know, so we want to avoid it. This year, it's super important for me to maximize my investments return, because I do believe it's one of the last year when the better times will start. For example, me, I do have multiple sources of income. So the first is my work, then the second is real estate, then the third is actually like the apps that I sell during the summer. So I got like subscription every month from the people that are paying the apps, right? Then actually I'm planning to add more, which is YouTube, right? Yes, I haven't made any money from the YouTube, but soon or later I will get monetized, and I'm actually more than happy to start some co-working programs, whether it's like companies or the people. Adding at least one more source of income was so hard for me, especially at the beginning, because 6 years ago I didn't have any money. I was just starting my university. I didn't have like any skills. And then you just listen some people like you should have 6 or 8 multiple source of income. But I was like, well, I'm not even able to make money. But sooner or later, when you work in progress, it just will add up, right? Like 6 years ago, I didn't thought that I will be buying multiple properties at once. But it just happened because I was like working. And if you continue, that's what nice about like everything and investing. There is compound interest, and it comes not just when you're investing, but even your skills. At the beginning, there are some skills and you are building them up, like, and you start from foundations. This year, I'm going to be very careful where I'm going to be putting my money, and I will actually diversify them. Second tip from Warren Buffett, how to save more and how to be more frugal so you can invest more money this year, is actually build an emergency fund. Most of the people, they understand emergency fund like this, that let's say every month they spend $1,000, so I will build like 6 months emergency fund, which is $6,000, right? If something happens that I go for vacation or I will be not working anymore, I would have some money that I can use even though I'm not having any income. What Buffett is meaning, build an emergency fund, we have to go back in 2009, because I do like his quote, be greedy when others are fearful and be fearful when others are greedy. So in 2009, everybody was like, losing money, like big banks were going bankrupt, right? Like even businesses were going to like shut down all the branches and so on. Buffett did one of his greatest deal ever. He did borrow, I think, $5 billion to Goldman Sachs for 2-3 years with a huge interest, right? He did even secure his deal with a actually backing up his investment with the Goldman Sachs actually guarantee that he will receive the stocks in a war what he was actually offering. One of his greatest deals that I did learn from him, that be greedy when others are fearful and be fearful when others are greedy. It's a very good quote, and I do really like it, and I'm gonna use it this year especially. Like when the people are super greedy about something, I will not chase it. And when the people are fearful, so that's what I'm doing with the real estate. People are not buying it a lot, right? Way less than like 2-3 years before. So now I'm actually like greedy when others are fearful, because in long run I want to make some money on this, right? In order to do that, I have to have some cash. So that's why Buffett is always having some cash as a like fund that he can use for the opportunity. So it's good to have some portion of your portfolio in a cash or like easy accessible money, right? Whether it's your banking account, whether it's at your house or whatever, but you should have some portion of that, not just for your emergency, but more about for opportunity. Don't get me wrong, I know there is big inflation, and if you have a money just sitting around, you are losing. One of the greatest investors are doing that I did notice, they are keeping some portion of the cash. That's the Warren Buffett idea, keep some portion in cash for opportunity. Tip number 3 from the Warren Buffett, don't let your fear or greed drive your financial decisions. It happened to me so much. My greed actually did take quite a bit of my profits. I was so greedy, especially with the crypto, that I was in plus like 100%, but I didn't sell my investments because I was thinking I can make way more money, because I did see some YouTube video or some TikTok and I was greedy. And you know how it went. Don't get me wrong, I had some projects that I make quite a bit of money, but what Buffett is meaning, you should have some strategy or some approaches that what if my investment will go well or will go down? What should I do? You should leave your emotions just behind the door, right? And actually what I do right now, like I did make a plan. I want to put, let's say 30 grand to the crypto. What are the scenarios? The best I can make 10x, right? Which would be the greatest, right? Then the like okay would be I would make 2 or 3x, which is more probable. Bad scenario would be that I would be on the same level, so on the 30 grand, or I would just make like 2 or 3% on that. And the worst scenario would be that I would lose all the money on the crypto that I would put in, right? The good thing about this is actually I have some expectations, which they might be good or even bad, and I'm actually accepting the situation. So that's what actually crypto is these days, right? You don't know what is gonna happen and you don't have like right answer. It helps me just because I have some expectations. I know this project can go good or very bad. So I am okay, and I'm adapting my scenario and my like risk tolerance as well, because I'm not putting all the money into that kind of projects because I don't want to lose all the money, right? When you put money into real estate, there is high chance you will not lose all your money, right? You might lose, but not all of them. But in the crypto, it's very possible, right? I done it. So this year, I'm gonna actually do all the different approaches with the real estate, stocks, index, even my company that I'm gonna put money in. What is the best scenario, what is okay, and what is the worst scenario. And I'm actually adapting and I'm accepting the situation. So that way, like my emotions will not be super important when something from the scenarios will be happening. So make sure you just go through your plan and you will actually make some predictions what can happen. And make sure you do predictions that are very positive and very negative, because both of them are possible, right? Tip number 4 from Warren Buffett, how to save more money and how to be more frugal, is actually don't buy luxury items. It's obvious, but it's so hard to do because everybody wants better clothes, better car, all other things, right? This year it's super important for me, so that's why I'm gonna very control it. I'm not saying I'm not gonna spend any money on the clothes or so on. For example, at the end of the day, my friend was actually offering me like his shoes that, you know, he didn't get the best size for him, so he cannot use them, and he paid like 200, and he was asking for $70, which was decent price. They were almost brand new. I was like, do I need it? Like probably like they will be dirty and so on because I travel and go everywhere, and you know. And then I realized like I don't need them, so I did buy in the same week the shoes for $10, which they were in discount from $30 because it was after Christmas. And it was just fine. And I don't have to worry when they get dirty that I will be having some like emotion going on, because I don't care. It was so cheap. I do believe it's pretty cool to don't spend, especially on the clothes or whatever, because when you lose it or whatever, you don't care because it was cheap or so on. So that's why actually I'm not going to do it this year, because I don't want to lose my time and energy dealing about the luxury items and so on. Like the good thing is that I know I can buy it, but I'm so controlling myself, so I'm not gonna buy, you know. On the other hand, there are so many people, they cannot buy luxury items, which is a car or simple watches, but they will buy it. So I always say myself, like I'm on the good way, because I know I can buy it, I just don't, right? Look, I'm not saying I'm not going to spend any money on items this year. I'm going for vacation because I didn't go for vacation for many years. Well, I went, but it was company, it's paid vacation, and I don't like all the people they work with me over there, or, so I want to do vacation, I want to do my stuff, no schedules and so on. So I will spend money on vacation. I want to buy gold chain, but I will buy it as a reward. If I buy all the real estate that I want to, if I will make all the money that I want to, if I will have some progress with the YouTube, I will buy it as a reward. When you go for memory like vacation, it's easy to forget about it. And yes, you can have a pictures and phones and whatever, but I always like, because every morning when I wake up, I do see gold chain, and that's, what kind of reminds me, yeah, it was because of the hard work. Whatever motivates you, just do it. But Buffett is saying you should control it. So when it comes to luxury items, if you spent something last year, try to spend a bit less, and you are already on the good way, right? Tip number 5 from Warren Buffett, which is one of the greatest quote I did here. So the idea is that he's saying, if you are in the vessel that is actually having a leak, so let's say a boat, and there is a leak, right? So water is going through, you shouldn't use your energy on fixing the leak, because usually it gets bigger and there is more and more, but you should change the vessel. Simply what he is meaning, let's say you are investing money into like one stock, you buy it today and price is going down for 30%. So you have already vessel that water is going through, so there is a leak, right? And then what to do? Should you buy more or not? And usually people, they will buy more. And it happened to me, and it happened to so much people. They actually buy something when it went down just to have a better average price. Then the company just went bankrupt or whatever. So he is saying when you are losing, you should be aware of that. You are losing, realize it, and have some like different strategies and approaches. And Buffett is totally right, because, for example, what happened to me, I was actually buying NIO stock, which is actually car, EV business, right? China, they are doing very well, but China is doing so bad. But overall, company is doing well. And actually, I did buy it, let's say, for whatever price. Now I'm in the minus 90%. So I'm already at a vessel that has quite a bit of leaks, right? So water is going through. And a lot of people, they would just put money into it and they don't do any research and so on. So Buffett is saying when there is something bad going on, which you don't want to, but if it is, realize it and have some approaches to that. So it already goes back to the tip we said before, don't have a greed or fear leading your financial decisions. So what I did, I actually did buy the NIO stock, even though I was 90% lost. But it was the last money that I did put in. I'm not going to put any more money because I'm thinking actually they might go just bankrupt. They might just disappear because of the whatever reason. So I don't want to have that kind of risk that I would put all the money into that kind of decision. That's why this year I'm going to do all the different approaches to my investment, like what if this, what if this, what if this, and so on. It just helps me that I am more confident and I have more control. When I have a control, then my emotions are not super important because I already have tasks to do. I have a like algorithm that I can use for that. But if I don't have any plan and emotions will hit, like the fence, it's hard to handle them. Even though if you are mentally tough or whatever, it's just not super easiest thing to do. So make sure when it comes to investing this year, you will try to avoid lose money. But if you will, what you would do in different scenarios. So for example, me, I'm actually okay if I lose money with the crypto this year, because there is one of the approach that I did say I might lose all of them. Of course, I don't want to, and I will do my best to avoid, but I know there is small risk with that it might happen as well. That's it, guys. I hope you found something beneficial. Like I really like the last quote about the vessel and leaks, because it's important to realize and understand that it was other video from Warren Buffett, then I'm actually preparing for the Buffett's video and Dave Ramsey that I did gather some information since I've been following for quite a bit of time, right? And you can support me with a like or subscribe or with a comment. And with that being said, thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya.